YouTube. Got my coffee. I decided to do something a little bit different. I haven't gone live on YouTube in a little bit, and I thought I would talk about my YouTube journey. Right now, I've got this channel, which is a non-niched channel. It's basically just a for fun channel. Uh, but I also have the Springboard, and I also have synthetic echoes. So it's been kind of an interesting little bit of a thing for me. This channel has never been a serious effort. So when I first started this channel, it was basically just to share some fun videos with my friends and family. But I've always been a blogger. I've been blogging for 30 plus years. That sort of has dried up a little bit. So I decided to start the Springboard. It's a conservative political commentary, opinion, editorial channel, and so it's been interesting so far. And I actually started that channel probably a little over a year ago, but I didn't actually really get serious about it until just recently, and that's partly because I was trying to figure out a lot of different things about what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do the videos, and even to some extent, how much I wanted to niche the channel down. Well, it started off as, talking about stocks, investing, money, and then throwing a little, political commentary here and there, sort of the same way that my blogs have always been. My blogs have always been sort of geared that way. They talk about a multitude of different topics, and that's been effective for the blog since I can recall. So I thought that should translate or might translate well on the Springboard YouTube channel as well. And by the way, if you're interested, if you're watching this in the video that gets left behind after the live is done, it's at the Springboard Voice. That's the handle for the Springboard channel. And if you're interested in political commentary and things, again, that's what I'm niching it down to, is political commentary. But what I mainly wanted to talk about is my journey in doing all of these channels, and what my objectives and goals are. Obviously, I want to get monetized on the Springboard channel. That's a work in progress. Right now, I've got 44 subscribers on the channel, so it's going to take some time. It's a slow build, but I have noticed that since I started actively posting again on the channel and niching it down into more conservative politics and that sort of thing, the subscribers are bumping up. There's not a lot of consistency on the views. One video might get 300, 400, almost 500 views. The next video gets 4. So there's not a whole lot of consistency, and I guess that's part of the game, right? That's part of how things work. So I'm not overly concerned about that. It's a work in progress. It is what it is. But there's something that the YouTube gurus talk about all the time, and they talk about they talk about the thumbnails, they talk about the titles, and of course the content is important as well. I'm kind of in the mindset that none of those things really matter. I mean, they do matter, don't get me wrong, but none of those things ultimately matter until and unless YouTube figures out who the audience is and then pushes those videos out via impressions to those people. My channel should be fairly simple, for it to figure out who the Springboard appeals to, because it's conservative politics. So, anybody who watches Sky News in Australia, anybody who watches Forbes Breaking News, anybody who watches Fox News, anybody who watches Ben Dykes, anybody who watches Trace Tainment, there's a lot of channels that are out there that are talking about conservative politics. So why YouTube struggles to find that audience sometimes confuses me, but okay, it is what it is. So like I said before, I understand it's a work in progress. YouTube's got to figure things out, but I'll keep working at it. And so I thought I would talk about it here on this channel. Just as a interesting tidbit, and then see if anybody's popping in here. This is Jim. Why did you eat my car? I don't know. I don't know how I can answer that question for you. Did I eat your car? Probably because it tasted good. I needed some iron, so I had to eat it. Is there any metal in any cars anymore? But the YouTube journey is fun. I'm having fun with it. One of the things I had to do was because I'm a writer. That's the world I come from is writing. Writing and talking to people on a video are two very different things. So I had to come up with a system. I don't have an actual teleprompter, but I use a teleprompter app on my laptop, and I found a way to set the phone up just right so that I can read the script, and it mostly looks like I'm looking at the camera. So that's something I think that was kind of important to me. Flying off the cuff, that's a tough thing for me to do. I think over time I might get better at that. I would like to try to do some lives on the Springboard channel at some point in the future. But I think what I'm going to do there is I'm going to wait until I've got, I don't know, maybe 250 subscribers. So at least I can have a slight audience that might be interested in it. But I've got to get better then at doing the whole live thing. And I don't want to do just vertical lives. I want to be able to do horizontal lives. So I might look into investing in, getting Riverside or something like that, which a lot of the people who do live streams talk a lot about Riverside and the advantages of using it, and a lot of the capabilities that Riverside has. Just checking down in my feed down here to make sure nobody was talking to me. A lot of times when I was doing lives on this channel, and I haven't done one in a while, like I said before, it was a live open forum, but I thought, well, maybe if I come on today, spend a few minutes just talking about my YouTube journey, what I'm trying to do over there. It's very different than this channel, obviously. So whether or not it has any interest to anybody watching this channel, this one is, like I said, just for fun, but there's no serious intent at all with this channel. But as far as the Springboard channel, yeah, I've got serious intent for that one. So Jimmy Eat World, Ari Wynn says, yeah, that's a good band. I like them. But it's been interesting so far. I mean, like I said, it's a lot of up and down, with the other channel. But as far as this channel never being monetized, I know why this channel was never monetized. I never really did anything serious with it. It has no common theme necessarily. It's always just for fun. But the other channel, I'm definitely having more serious intent to it. So whether or not I do any other, YouTube journey lives, I guess that depends on where I'm at in my journey and what I have to share for whatever that's worth. And, of course, like I said before, you get the video after the live is done. So if there's anybody that's interested in watching a schmuck like me try to succeed on YouTube, there you have it. So I know there's a lot of trends with the 40 plus. I'm definitely 40 plus. I'm 52. So I'll be 53 in June. But, I think one of the things that I notice a lot of when I'm watching a lot of these videos from the 40 plus groups is that what they're talking about is YouTube. Well, I don't want to do that. My thing is to conservative politics. That's what I've always been a part of. That's the kind of content that I want to do. I mean, I think at one point anyway, that trend is going to get old. I mean, at some point, people are going to get tired of people talking about YouTube and their YouTube journey and what they're doing on YouTube and how they're growing their YouTube channels. And there's a whole nother spiel I've got about the gurus on that one, but maybe I'll save that for another day because I'm focused right now on just talking about my YouTube journey and where that's going. So I deleted your comment. Comment where? On this live, on this channel? Did you comment something on my channel? On this channel, I don't get hardly any comments at all. If I get a comment, it's very rare. But again, this is a channel that's just sort of for fun. So I don't take it seriously. I don't intend for it to ever be monetized. The Springboard, like I said before, is a different story. I'm looking for the engagement there and the interactions there. I'm actually starting to get quite a few comments. That's something that has been a recent development. So I think what that means, and as far as the view counts going up as well, I think what that means is that YouTube is starting to try to find that audience a little bit harder. It's working a little bit harder to try to find that audience and bring the stuff to more people. And obviously, the more people it can reach, the more people that are going to engage with the video. And at some point, because of the way that the Springboard is structured, that's definitely something that I want, is the engagement, because it's going to help me to gauge what it is that the audience is actually interested in, as far as the topics that I cover. And sometimes the comments can lead to a response video. So that's something else that creates or adds or provides fodder for future videos. So, and with the Springboard too, being that it's a conservative politics channel, it's generally dealing with current events. There's not a lot of evergreen to that type of content. So it's content that you constantly have to, keep doing. And that was the same thing in the blog world. You're writing about current events and things like that, talking about elections and how elections are going and what the politicians are doing, what the politicians are talking about, what bills are up for votes and all that sort of thing. So you have to constantly have new content. So, but I'm doing good, Stormy. I'm doing very good. How are you? Just decided to come on live for a very short spell and just kind of talk about the other channel that has more serious intent behind it. If you're interested in conservative politics, I don't know if you are or you aren't. This channel definitely is not geared at all towards that. But if that's your thing and you like conservative commentary, you can find that at the Springboard Voice. That is the handle for the Springboard. So, and that's a channel that I'm more seriously endeavoring to promote. So, for whatever that's worth. But I've wanted to try, because I'm also on TikTok, but I do a totally different thing on TikTok. So, it's difficult to get on any of these other platforms and try to cross promote, what I'm doing over there. But it's just a different audience, and it's a different thing. And even the vertical lives on YouTube are different than the horizontal lives, and it's just a different beast. But we'll see where all that goes. If anybody has any interest in that sort of thing. But it's hard to get things moving. And like I said, it's just a matter of YouTube trying to figure out who that audience is. That's the key. For all the things that the YouTube gurus talk about incessantly, about all the other things that matter, ultimately at the end of the day, no matter what you do, you are at the whim of YouTube and the algorithm. I mean, they can say all day long that you can beat the algorithm, you can trick the algorithm, and you can do all these things. At the end of the day, the algorithm is the one thing that's going to determine whether or not your videos are going to be seen by anyone. Like I said before, you could have a video that's got 400 or 500 views, the next one gets 4. Why does it do that? I don't know, right? I don't have an answer to that question. How YouTube determines who the audience is for the content that you're providing. Like I said before, I know exactly who my audience is. And YouTube should know who my audience is as well, based on the content. Conservative politics. Okay, that's Sky News. That's Fox News. That's Newsmax, that's Ben Dykes, that's Ben Shapiro. Those are the people who are watching that kind of content. So what is it about the algorithm that makes it hard for the Springboard to kind of launch off? And again, it's a young channel, so it's going to take time, and I do understand that. And I'd rather have a slow build anyway. There's a lot of people say, well, geez, I just would like to have a video go viral. I'm in the camp that I don't think that if your video goes viral, it's gonna do you any good at all. It may give you a nice boost of subscribers. It may give you a nice boost of views, but at the end of the day, that viral video is going to probably do more damage than it does good. I would rather have slow and steady growth, just slow and steady growth. Pick up a few more subscribers on every video. Have slower, steady growth, and let things kind of take a path organically. That's my personal interest. I think that has more benefit than anything else does. I don't want something to just launch and then you get your 1,000 subscribers, maybe you even get your 4,000 hours of watch time, and then you get monetized, but then nothing comes after that because it was the viral video that got you there, and there's nothing behind it, to keep you there. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. So I've heard that before. Hunter says I look like Simon Pegg. I've actually gotten that comment before on various platforms. And I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, is Simon Pegg a bad-looking guy? I mean, he's not first-rate material, I would assume, but I don't think he's a bad-looking guy. Is anybody that's in the feed? There's 4 people that are watching now, but is anybody making videos, creating? And if you are, what is your current experience on YouTube? Are you making any progress? Are you monetized, or are you still working toward that goal? It says turn off the setting, alert subscribers to new video. It'll show it more to others. I'm not sure what that setting is. I'll have to look into that. I don't go live on YouTube very often at all, but I'll definitely take a look at that, because that's definitely going to be something. Not so much on this channel, but if and when I decide that I want to start going live on the Springboard, that's definitely something I want to do, because I want it to be more structured and a different experience, more like a show than just a talking live. But that's something. Before I actually go live on the Springboard, I actually might get Kevin Colby's book. Kevin Colby wrote a book about going live, because again, the Springboard is a serious endeavor, unlike this channel. So if I'm going to go live on the Springboard, I want to make sure I do it right. I want to make sure I got all my ducks in a row before I decide to do that. Even though I could go live, it could go completely screwy, and even if there's a video, afterward, I could unlist it or delete it or whatever. I mean, it's not like anything is going to be permanent or even permanently damage anything, but I do want to take it seriously and do the right thing with it. So if there's some settings that I need to change in order for more people to see lives, that's definitely something I want to consider to do. He says, I only made one video, but I haven't really done it again since then, and it's just soul crushing. If you're doing it for views, do it for fun instead and use the hashtags. Yeah, I mean, this channel, is a good example of that. I've actually been sort of surprised that this channel, I wouldn't call it successful by any measure, but I've gotten more views on this channel and than I ever thought I might. Especially when it comes to the shorts, which I've been doing a lot of shorts on this channel, trying to stick to sort of a comedic slant, I guess, if you want to call it that, cross-posting the videos here and on TikTok, and I'm not sure that, it's ever going to I guess that would be an interesting experiment, because of the constant, thought process being that, you niche down a channel, and that's part of what helps it to become successful. If, maybe that should be a goal in my world, that I could have a completely random channel like this one, and get it up to 1 million subscribers, and start really making some money on it. Wouldn't that be interesting if I could do that? But I don't necessarily see that happening. I think that might be a bit of a pipe dream. But I guess I can have more fun on this channel because I'm not taking it seriously, and I'm not doing it for any serious purposes. And it can be all over the map. This channel is titled Jim Bauer. That's who I am. This channel is a little bit of all of me, right? It's a little bit of my music. It's a little bit of my funny side, my humor, I guess. It's a little bit of my serious side, my business side. So it's kind of all of me rounded up into one channel, I guess. So, and it's a place for me to vent. It's a place for me to share things, mostly with friends and family, but sometimes with other people too, if they're interested in seeing that sort of thing. So, yeah, consistency is key, and that I definitely. Now on this channel, there's no consistency because there's no plan, right? But on the Springboard, the goal is to eventually get to a point where I'm publishing at least 3 videos and 2 shorts a week. That's sort of the plan and the goal. So far, I'm not there. I might be averaging a video every 3 to 5 days, somewhere in that ballpark. But the fact that I decided to go with the teleprompter and just a basic format, just sitting talking to the camera, not a lot of massive editing and things like that, that has dramatically decreased the amount of time it takes me to make a video. From the time I write the script to the time I turn the phone on and start filming, does they say filming anymore? Start shooting, right? And then, editing the little pauses and breaks and things, getting the thumbnail together. I mean, that's probably, gone from, a 12 to 15 hour process down to about a 2 or 3 hour process. And that dramatically changes the game for me. So, that's kind of the direction. Hello to B Swan. How you doing? Welcome in. Probably won't be on here very much longer. These lives on here, I mean, I'll spend an hour and a half on TikTok, but on here it's just chatting for a little bit, sharing a few thoughts and ideas, and heck, you never know. Maybe my lives are so fascinating. I'll get lots of watch hours on the views that I get after the fact. One can dream, right? Like I said, if I can turn a non-niched, completely ridiculous, all over the place, random channel into a cash cow, that would be something rather interesting. I could prove all the gurus wrong. Say it's possible to do it. Don't think it's possible, but like I said, this channel doesn't have any motivations along those lines. So it is what it is. Nice stream so far. Just for your information, I'm from the Middle East. I got here because of one of your shorts, just so you know how far. Oh, all the way to the Middle East, really? Okay. Wow. Yeah, it's nice to know that my videos are making rounds around the world. My videos are traveling farther than I will ever. So welcome aboard. Glad to have you on board. And I'm glad you're liking at least the videos on this channel. Like I said, I'm just trying to have a little bit of fun. We've been playing around with the frying pan videos. I got to get a different shtick. That one's starting to wear a little bit thin. So I got to come up with some new ideas. But I don't have a fancy studio and a bunch of actors to work with. So I've got a lot of good ideas, but putting them together and then putting them out as a video is a tougher task for me when it comes to that sort of thing. So, but I'll work on it. You never know. I'm a pretty creative guy. At least I like to think that I am. So if anybody out there is enjoying anything that I do, anything that I bring to the table, whether it be on this channel or the Springboard or Synthetic Echoes. That's another one. Didn't talk much about Synthetic Echoes, but if you want to check that out, that's a channel that I started to basically take my original music. A lot of that original music you would find on here, on this channel, from the Pink Flamingos album and stuff like that. So somehow I got tied into another Jim Bauer on this channel. I don't know how that happened, but his stuff's on here too. It is what it is. But my stuff is pretty distinctly different than the other one. So you can kind of pick that out and figure out which is which. But yeah, I mean, I take my original music and I run it through Suno AI, and it interprets it and makes it into a studio quality version, and then I create a video and upload it to Synthetic Echoes. So if you want to check that channel out, it's at Synthetic Echoes Music. That is the handle for that channel. So, but yeah. So glad anybody popped in. If you want to check out the Springboard, if you're, like I said, into conservative politics, even if you're not, I try to slant it in a way that is more of a general American perspective, as opposed to Democrat versus Republican, conservative versus liberal. Hopefully, I accomplished that. But if you want to check that out, it's at the Springboard Voice. That is the handle for that channel. So give it a look, see if you like what's going on over there. Give me some engagement. Love to hear your thoughts. So that all said, I'm going to jump off of here. Appreciate you listening to me ramble for whatever it's been, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Actually tells me right here, I've been on here for 26 minutes and 48 seconds. So if you've made it this far, give me a like, subscribe. We'll have some future talks. And do go check out those other two channels. Give me some love over there, and don't subscribe if you're not into it. I'd rather have genuine subscribers than people just thinking they're helping me out by subscribing. But if you do want to check them out, give them a look, see, peruse around this channel a little bit. Tell me what you think. Leave me some comments on some of the videos. Tell me they're funny. Tell me they're not funny. Tell me to go get a day job. Whatever you want to do. I can take it. I'm a grown boy. I can handle the criticisms. So, see you later. Take care.